The border war finally resumes after 14 long years. The Tigers and the Jayhawks meet in Columbia on Saturday, with Mizzou getting the best of Kansas. How did they do that? We're going to go over that and plenty more. The Chiefs stumble on Friday night in Brazil against the Chargers. We've got a couple of injuries to talk about. We're going to go over that game. And the NFL is finally back, baby. What a day Sunday was. 12 o'clock block, absolutely insane. Had like 4 different games coming down to the wire, as well as Sunday Night Football. Absolutely amazing game between Baltimore and Buffalo. So we're going to go over that game as well, which honestly, for my Chiefs fans, I think both those teams look real beatable on Sunday night, honestly. Made me feel a little bit better about Friday night's loss. But we're going to go over that and a whole lot more. The Royals also, they have a big series coming up against the Mariners. They're right there in the wild card. Had some fights on Saturday night. It was a big weekend for sports in general. So welcome back to the Papa Shronos podcast on this Monday afternoon, as I'm recording Monday morning. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. We hit our goal of 500 before the season, so I really do appreciate y'all for that. Like the episode 2 if you enjoy the podcast, and let's get straight into this thing. All right, so let's start with the positives. We will work our way to the negatives. Missouri officially ranked at number 25 in the country now. You see that first quarter started off a little rough. Kansas got the momentum rolling their way for a minute. I personally, I would say I was never too concerned. I mean, they were up 21-6. It was going in a rough way, but Missouri absolutely took over in the second quarter, never looked back. I mean, Kansas barely even had the ball in the second quarter, and past that, really, it was all Mizzou. I mean, 21-6, the comeback, 15-0 in the second quarter, and then Mizzou outscored Kansas 7-3, 14-7. But I mean, look at these stats: total yards 595 from the Tigers, 226 from the Jayhawks. Passing yards, Beau was on fire on Saturday. 334 to 223. The rushing yards absolutely pitiful from the Jayhawks. 3 total rushing yards in the game, 261 for the Tigers. 6.9 yards per play for the Tigers to 4.6 for the Jayhawks. 28-13, on first downs. Third down efficiency, the Tigers much more efficient on third down. Fourth down, Jayhawks 2 for 2, but the Tigers went 4 for 5. Total of 86 plays for the Tigers, 49 for the Jayhawks. Penalties, Tigers, a lot more penalties, 7 for 70 yards. Lost that fumble. That was the scoop and score, and then the interception that ended the game. But time of possession, 40 minutes and 27 seconds to 19 minutes and 33 seconds. I mean, the Tigers really dominated this game, and that is part of why I was never too concerned about this game early on, personally. But I don't know. I mean, Twitter was fun on Saturday, let's to say the least. I mean, 2:30 here in Kansas City, it was rocking on Twitter between Kansas and Mizzou. It was a fun day, man. It was a fun afternoon, back and forth, up and down. I mean, exactly what the border war is and has been. But Beau Pribula, man, 30 of 39, 334 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns. Beau put up only 6 yards on the ground. Ahmad Hardy, 25 carries, 112 yards. Jamal Roberts also had a big day, 13 for 143. Kevin Coleman Jr., man, between him and Brett Norfleet, I mean, both of them had great days. 10 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Brett Norfleet seemed like he was there every single time the Tigers needed to be bailed out. There was that 4th down late in the game that Brett Norfleet caught on a crosser over the middle, first down. I almost want to say that was a touchdown. He turned the corner and burnt the KU defense for a touchdown. Not 100% sure if I'm remembering that correctly, but either that or he was very close to the goal line on a 4th and 2 late in the game. But either way, I mean, absolutely great day for Kevin Coleman Jr. and Brett Norfleet. Other than that, you had Daniel Blood. I'm going to butcher this one. No, Oleg Bodie, 3 for 29. Marcus Johnson, he wasn't much of a factor. 2 catches for 21 yards in this game. Joshua Manning, 2 for 17. Missouri Tigers, man, they had a good day on Saturday and a good game to get them ready for SEC plays. They have South Carolina coming to Columbia on Saturday. That's going to be a big game for the Tigers. I really, I will say this game I'm a little nervous about. I mean, me and EDJ talked about it as we were, looking at the season. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a tough game. Mizzou's going to have to prove their number 25 ranking at this point. Jalen Daniels on Saturday, 18 of 30, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also 10 carries for 17 yards and a touchdown rushing, which had a solid day for the Tigers, or excuse me, for the Jayhawks. Jalen Daniels, solid day. Not anything special, not great. 223 yards. I mean, the Kansas offense was I would say. I mean, they couldn't run the ball. It was the Missouri defense looked good. The Missouri defense looked good. There was some moments though. You gotta the secondary. I don't think was great. The pass rush was good, not great. There's some things to work on. But I do think this was an amazing test for the Tigers to have a Big 12 school come in and kind of test their might against before they get into the SEC play. But, it was cute for a moment. The Kansas fans really thought they had a shot at winning this game because I don't think they really did at any point. Even when it was 21-6, didn't really feel like the game was out of hand. Obviously, those drives were critical there, and Missouri did what they needed to do in the second quarter. But if they can do that, if they can take over a game and take over time of possession and keep the ball away from opponents, I think they could do win against just about anybody. I mean, this team is really good. Beau Pribula showed us that he is more than just a wildcat kind of quarterback. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say, but just the decoy quarterback, if you will, the Taysom Hill-esque, really is kind of what he was presented to us Mizzou fans as the backup to Drew Aller at Penn State that came in and ran the ball. He can do a lot more than run the ball, and he showed that on Saturday. Had an absolutely terrific game. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about the border war, how you feel about the Tigers moving forward. And again, South Carolina, that's going to be a big game. It's going to be a tough game. Other college football news, Arch Manning looked a lot better, obviously playing San Jose State on Saturday. It was Ohio State played Grambling, which, a lot of people gave him a lot of flack. And even Mizzou fans I saw giving Ohio State some flack, but I thought, hey, we played Central Arkansas last week, so I don't, it's the beginning of the year. These power schools play, not so great teams in the beginning. So it's a good weekend for college football. It was great if you were a Tiger fan, and obviously a lot of Chiefs Kingdom split down the middle, which, if you're from the Kansas side, I guess I get. I just don't understand my Missouri side folks that are Kansas fans. I get that KU is a little closer than Mizzou is, but I just don't understand how you can root for the other side. But Chiefs Kingdom split down the middle. There was a lot of Chiefs fans on the timeline, obviously rooting for Kansas. So obviously you had a terrible weekend if you're a Chiefs fan and a Kansas fan. Mizzou kind of bailed us out as Chiefs Tigers fans. So we're going to get into that game next. Obviously Friday night was a little bit rough for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't think that it was necessarily terrible. So let's get into that next. All right, so let's talk about these Chiefs from Friday night. Loss to the Los Angeles Chargers week 1. It was rough, right? It was rough, but I don't think it's as bad as some are necessarily making it out to be. I mean, it's week 1. The world is on fire. Hot takes everywhere. I mean, I get it, right? The dynasty's over. The Chiefs are cooked. All of these things that we hear every single season. The Chargers are the best team in the AFC West. Justin Herbert's taken the crown from Patrick Mahomes. Week 1 Super Bowl win. I mean, everything that you can think of, right? Everyone's been crazy. Everybody's excited to see the Chiefs lose. Excited to see the Chiefs lose on a bad call. The game-winning touchdown, very clear holding in the backfield. And, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these things happen. This is the NFL. The officials are pretty bad. I mean, they've been pretty bad for years, which most of us understand. A lot of people just think the Chiefs get all the calls, which statistically is very inaccurate, which, let me get off my soapbox. Now let's talk about this game. Because the takes have been absolutely insane all weekend. So let's get to some logical takes about this Kansas City Chiefs team next. So let's look at the total stats. Total yards, 347 to 394. The Chiefs looked a lot better in the second half. I mean, the first drive, obviously absolutely terrible. Xavier Worthy goes down. Shoulder injury, is going to be out. From what I saw, 4 to 6 weeks is kind of the time frame of what we're looking at. We haven't heard anything. At some point, Andy will talk to the media today. He hasn't yet. I'm recording this in the morning, so we'll see when this gets uploaded to YouTube. Passing yards, 249 to 304. Justin Herbert had a day against the secondary. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs on defense did not look great. And I saw a lot of people saying that the Chiefs are missing Justin Reed. While that may be true to a point, I don't think that he's missed as much as what people think. I mean, just because Reed wasn't the greatest in coverage. I don't know how much Reed would have helped that coverage out versus the pass rush is not great. And we knew that coming in. Hopefully that we can see some rotations. I thought Gelati looked good early. He didn't play a lot through the, stretch of the game. Kind of got rotated out of the rotation. Not 100% sure why. Maybe just trying to get the Rook some playing time, get him in there. I mean, we haven't seen too much of anybody that was going to make an impact immediately, right? FAU was never a guy that was going to come in and be a starter day one and be out there every play, especially when you have Dana and Karlaftis. So I don't think that we've really seen any pass rushers that were set to make an immediate impact. While Tranquil was down, I was surprised to see Cochran in there over Bossa. I thought that maybe Jeffrey Bossa should get some playing time while Tranquil was hurt. When you look at the first downs, 22 to 18, that's not going to win you a lot of ball games. Third down efficiency was not great from the Chiefs, 5 of 14 versus 7 of 13 for the Chargers. Fourth down efficiency, though, was perfect for the Chiefs, 3 for 3. 58 to 62 total plays are about the same. Sacks allowed. Chiefs allowed 2. Chargers allowed 3. Chiefs punted the ball 3 times. 10 penalties for 71 yards. There was a lot of plays where it felt like the Chiefs were getting flagged on plays that should have went the other way, where it was a hold and instead there was, something else, whatever. I'm not going to get too much into the penalties and stuff and how I feel. I mean, I don't think that's why they lost the game. I don't think that's why the Chiefs lost the game at all. I think the Chiefs played poorly for the most part. I don't know if they were completely ready to go. Or at least that's what it looked like, They just didn't feel like they were in sync. I do think that there was some positives. I think some of the deep routes that were missed, I mean, Mahomes missed a couple, a little overthrown to Tyquan Thornton early in the game, which is great. I think that seeing that is hopeful. It wasn't able to get connected on week 1. That's fine. Losing week 1 in Brazil to the Chargers, I think is okay. Obviously, you'd like to see, maybe this be an NFC matchup or, not a divisional matchup. So I do get that this was a divisional matchup, but being week 1, I'm okay with what we saw. I think the potential is there for this offense to be pretty good. Obviously, the receiving core is depleted. I mean, we've got 5 more games without Rashee Rice. We now have 4 to 6 games without Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs are in a tough spot. Running was not there. Pacheco, 5 carries, 25 yards. Kareem Hunt, 5 carries, 16 yards. 10 combined carries. You had Patrick Mahomes, the leading rusher, 6 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Worthy had that one run on the opening drive, and that was it. Hollywood Brown, 10 catches for 99 yards. Looks good until you realize he was targeted 16 different times. A couple of drops in there. Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 for 55. Kelsey, 2 for 47 and a touchdown. Not a great day. Tyquan Thornton, though. Tyquan Thornton is the bright spot for me. 2 catches, 41 yards. Now, where do the Chiefs go from there? I don't know with this receiving core. I mean, this receiving core is just not... It's not great. It's not great again. And it's the injury bug. which sucks because you can't really plan for that too much with the injury bug. But I think the Chiefs are going to be okay. Obviously, you got a very tough matchup coming up against Philly. Me and EDJ will get into that on Thursday. But just looking at this last weekend right now. So going to the defense was rough. Jamari Conner, 7 tackles, 2 assisted tackles. Jamari Conner was not great. Christian Fulton did not have much of a snap count in this game. Obviously, he's still returning from his injury that he had in the preseason and through camp. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this team right now. And I still think that the Chiefs can beat the Eagles on Sunday. But this game right here, it was a tough game. It was a weird game. And it felt like a continuation of 2024. That's the unfortunate part. Because I think all of us were excited to get to 2025 and see what this offense is going to look like. Well, we lose Rashee Rice. Oh, okay. We'll be all right. We still have Xavier Worthy is going to be the guy, right? Still have Tyquan Thornton. Juju's still in there. Like, Hollywood. The Chiefs will be okay, right? Well, first drive of the game, Xavier Worthy goes down. All of a sudden now it's Hollywood. That's all you got pretty much. Tyquan Thornton as a deep threat. Kelsey wasn't great in this game. And obviously I'm sure Kelsey feels terrible this week knowing he was the guy that kind of, there was some type of mix-up on that mesh concept where they ran right into each other. Kelsey kind of got pushed off of his spot. So everything that could have went wrong Friday night pretty much went wrong. Mahomes looked amazing, as per usual. I mean, dude was running all over the field. Had another one of those, like, parallel to the ground throws that, if you're not impressed by that, you're lying, by the way. I just want to throw that out there, too, because I saw a lot of people saying, oh, it was a 4-yard pass. Oh, first of all, not many people can understand yardage because of the fact it was a lot more than 4 yards. I think it was a 3rd and 7 that he made the play on or something, which, whatever, that's semantics, neither here nor there, I guess. But either way, it was a tough game. Also, the lowering the shoulder that Patrick Mahomes did. A lot of people had a problem with, which I thought was funny. Just for the simple fact that you guys should watch football games. Most people should watch football games. The Kurt Benkerts of the world. The Brian Hoyer, I saw a tweet about it. All of these guys that are going out of their way to tell us, hey, we don't watch the whole game. We watch the highlights. Which is crazy to me. Because if you actually watched the game, you would have saw Pat Mahomes get lit up a couple of times. So folks out there that are anti-Chiefs, you should go watch the whole game if you want to see Mahomes get lit up. There was a couple plays early where Mahomes got lit up on plays. So I don't know. That's my rant for this podcast this Monday afternoon. Is you should watch games. You should watch football. Football's a fun sport to watch, start to finish, not just the highlights. Especially like the Sunday night football game. You don't watch the whole game. You just watch the highlights. You missed half of the drama. And watching it unfold, I don't know. That's my take. We live in a highlight culture, and I get it. That's partially why the narrative is the narrative with the Chiefs. You don't watch the whole game. The most penalized offensive lineman in the league. Let's get into that. I think that right tackle, for me, week 1, has become more of a concern than the entire left side of the line, which is kind of crazy. I don't think Kingsley looked great, but I think Jawan Taylor might be the biggest problem on that offensive line at the current moment. But we'll see. We'll see what week 2 brings. Shout out to EDJ. We were texted about it, and I've kind of been on the train of cut some slack to Jawan Taylor. And through this game, I went from early in the game saying I think Jawan Taylor gets too much flack to by the end of the game saying put Jalen Moore at right tackle. I don't think that's going to happen. We will see. But I think Andy, unless you're a rookie, I think Andy is going to stick by his guys. And I get it from a coaching perspective. You want to put the faith in your guys, but there is a point, a time and place. I mean, Dan Sorensen continued to get reps. Always. I mean, how many times did we see, what was that, the 2021 season? Tyrann Mathieu just with his hands up. Hey, what are you doing, 49? Dan Sorensen continued to come out and play. Getting snaps. Bob Sutton. Andy did not want to get rid of Bob Sutton. It was one of the best thing that could have happened to the Chiefs in the Mahomes era is firing Bob Sutton and bringing in Steve Spagnuolo. I don't think that Andy would have done that if the critics weren't so loud. I think Andy's job would have been on the line if Bob Sutton stuck around. I think that's really the main reason that we got Steve Spagnuolo. So I don't know. I think Andy is going to stick by Jawan Taylor. I think Jawan Taylor continues to start at right tackle. We'll see. I don't know if that's the right choice at this point. I mean, he's got to get it together. Got to get it together. I don't know if it's the pressure of these big games. Obviously, we saw it against the Lions a couple of years ago, opening night. This one was a whole different ball game in Brazil, in an environment that's almost like a Super Bowl-like setting of, I don't know, a showcase, you know? I mean, a, big nationally televised game. It was on YouTube, internationally televised game, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube personally, and obviously right here, I'm making this content here on YouTube, but kind of wild, the YouTube game. Interesting, but very accessible for everyone. There's a lot of people watching, obviously. I mean, I never checked, I guess, the stream or anything while we were watching. Either way, man, it was a tough game. It was a tough way to start the season. The Chiefs were against all odds, I think, in a lot of ways, and the Chargers too. I mean, I don't want to take any credit away from the Chargers. Herbert played an amazing game. Let's go over to the Chargers stats and see what they ended up with. 318, 25 of 34, 3 touchdowns. Omarion Hampton, 15 carries, 48 yards. Chiefs did a pretty good job with Omarion Hampton. Obviously, they couldn't stop Herbert from running the ball, which we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, they took some notes from the Cowboys game and to put a spy on Jalen Hurts. If the Cowboys spied Jalen Hurts, I think they win that game Thursday night. The Eagles looked very beatable. Obviously, Jalen Carter didn't play most of the game. But I do think the Eagles did look beatable. I don't think that they look, and it's early in the season. Last year, if you would have told me that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl and blow the Chiefs out in the Super Bowl after week 1, 2, really the first 5 weeks. I mean, even late in the season. I mean, you can go back to the podcast and, I'm sure I talked about it. I did not believe in the Eagles. I don't think I believed in the Eagles until the Rams playoff game, honestly. I just did not see them putting it all together the way they did, and they were the best team in football last year in January and February. That's why they were Super Bowl champions. So, I don't know. It's hard to really gauge off of the first couple of weeks how good a team is going to be. I'm not worried about the Chiefs yet. Obviously, last year there were some moments, but I do think it's still the best coached team in football. I think the Chiefs are all around the best team in the league still. We'll see if that changes, because that is up for interpretation and up to change. So that's not me being a homer. That's just me trying to look at it objectively. Maybe a little bit being a homer. Which is okay. I mean, I've lived in Kansas City my whole life. I've always been a Chiefs fan. So, maybe there's a little bit of a homer take in that. But I do think that overall, the Chiefs, out of any team in the league that I believe can right their ship, it is the Chiefs because of Andy Reid, because of Steve Spagnuolo. I don't know about Matt Nagy, but just because of the personnel of this team. You have the best quarterback in football in Patrick Mahomes. Whether you want to admit that or not, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's the most efficient player in the league, the most efficient quarterback in the league. When it matters. Let me say that. Because I do think Lamar Jackson is the most efficient quarterback overall. When it matters, Patrick Mahomes is the most efficient quarterback in the league. So, I don't know. That's my take this week on the Chiefs. We're obviously going to talk about the Chiefs a whole lot more when EDJ returns to the podcast on Thursday. We will look at that Eagles game. I will be at Arrowhead for that game. I will be live from Arrowhead at tailgating for that game. So tune in and follow me over on TikTok, because I'll be live on TikTok next Sunday for that game. I'll be live here on YouTube after Monday Night Football, We're going to go over the week 1 debrief. I'm going to go over a lot of this. So hopefully you guys can join and engage with that. I'd love to hear you guys' takes about week 1, what you guys thought. Let me know in the comments below on this video too. I try to get back to everybody and respond to every comment. So let me know how you guys felt about week 1. Obviously, tough for the Chiefs in week 1, but nothing crazy. I mean, it's a 6-point loss. Really wasn't as bad as what, I think a lot of people have made it out to see. But, for the most of the media, the Chiefs are done, right? I think the Chiefs, people just want to see the Chiefs fail. And that's fine. I understand. I hated the Patriots too. I didn't want to see the Patriots continue to succeed in Tom Brady. So, anyways, I might sound like shit because I am sick this Monday morning. So if I do, I apologize. If you were just like, damn, this guy sounds like crap. But moving on, let's talk broadly about football and go over week 1 because, man, it was a wild opening weekend in football. Before we do that, though, real quick, I am going to play the clip that Ian Rappaport shared on Twitter Sunday morning. And the most news that we have at the moment, currently, I'm sure Monday night, later on tonight, I'll talk more about that on the live stream. Xavier Worthy's injury there. There we go again. But we'll talk about Xavier Worthy's injury. Anyways, roll the clip. Ian Rappaport talking about Xavier Worthy's injury.
Kansas City Chiefs in Brazil not only suffered a tough loss to the Los Angeles Chargers, but also likely lost one of their top weapons, at least for a period of time. My understanding is Xavier Worthy, the electric receiver who suffered that injury right there to friendly fire, suffered a dislocated shoulder. It is unclear as of right now how much time he's going to miss, still soliciting a second opinion. I am told the most likely option is for him to be able to brace it up and return this season. However, test pending and surgery is still, as of right now, an option.
For the rest of the week 1 slate, we had a plethora of very interesting games in the early window. Dolphins, Colts. How about Danny Dimes out there? I mean, Daniel Jones has an absolutely terrific game. The Colts score on every single drive of the game, 33-8 win. Tua, the most accurate quarterback in the league, as diagnosed by one Tyreek Hill. 3 turnovers in the first half. That first pick straight to a safety. And, hey, as a Chiefs fan, maybe set Tyreek free. Bring Tyreek back to Kansas City. I've seen a lot of that on Twitter and other sources, which, I talked about it a little bit last year. And over the offseason of, I think it's a possibility. I think it's a real possibility. If the Chiefs move the cap room around correctly, I do think we could see Tyreek back in Kansas City. Also, depending on, what we see with Xavier Worthy, what the diagnosis is going to be, how long he's actually going to be out. We know we've got 5 more games without Rashee Rice, as I've said. McCole Hardman, another option, maybe from the Green Bay practice squad. Either way, moving on to the Steelers-Jets game. Hey, old man Rodgers looked pretty good out there. Justin Fields looked good. I'm really intrigued with this New York Jets offense and how they're going to run it through the year. Breece Hall had a pretty good game. Braylon Edwards was in there. I think he had a touchdown as well. Very, very fun game to watch. I mean, it was like 4 of these games came down to the wire in the early window. Bucks-Falcons was another one that was crazy. How about Emeka Egbuka that was amazing in that first game? 2 touchdowns in his first NFL start. Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. Also, 1 of 3 games that went into weather delays this weekend, counting Thursday night. Panthers and Jaguars. Jaguars get a big win over the Panthers. And weird game, and it'll be interesting to see how good either of those teams are. I'm intrigued with both of those teams just to see how Liam Cohen affects the Jags offense, as well as can Bryce Young continue to take another step forward. Tough start for the Panthers. I don't expect the Saints to be very good in that Cardinals-Saints game. We'll see if Marvin Harrison takes a step forward as well, which as a dynasty fantasy football player with the drafted Marvin Harrison, I am really hoping so. Giants and Commanders. Jaden Daniels had a much better game than I thought watching the game. It's kind of funny when you actually watch the whole games and then see the stats afterwards, not really paying attention to the box score too much of what it looked like and then what the actual stats are. So you guys should watch more football games. You should actually watch them instead of just reading stats and watching highlights. To all the people that do actually watch football games, shout out to you. You guys are the real MVPs that actually watch games and have coherent takes instead of just watching the highlights. But hey, back to that Bucs-Falcons game one more time, because I thought Michael Penix had it in the bag for the Falcons. And Baker drove down the field and, threw that thing on a rope to Egbuka to end the game. Absolutely wonderful finish, which I had the Falcons money line in that game, so I was a little annoyed by that. But, hey, shout out to Baker, man. Bengals-Browns. The Bengals have 7 yards of total offense in the second half. Another team from the AFC that is, supposed to be one of the top teams that I did not think looked very good at all. They had a series at one point with 3 straight sacks on Joe Burrow, 2 for Myles Garrett, almost got a safety. They really got bailed out by the Browns, and really, the Bengals with a very lucky Week 1 win. So I'm going to be interested to see what the Bengals look like through the rest of the season. The Raiders get a win over the Patriots. This year's number 1 draft pick for myself, Ashton Genty, in my Dynasty League. Shout out to that guy. He had a pretty good game. Also scored a touchdown. Broncos beat the Titans. The Broncos did not look great against the Titans either. 49ers Seahawks, that was also another very interesting game. Came down to the end. Ricky Purcell had a pretty good game. Christian McCaffrey is back. He couldn't really run the ball, but he was there in the passing game. The Lions. So this is going to be my hot take of the week right here. The Lions will be the last place team in the NFC North. They looked terrible. I was very interested to see what they were going to look like without Ben Johnson, and it is not good. And I'm more intrigued to see how the Bears look tonight with Ben Johnson. So let me know what you guys think about the Lions. The Packers adding Micah Parsons, obviously. He was on a snap count all day, still returning from that injury. But the Lions looked absolutely dreadful out there. So I don't know. I think the Lions have a lot of problems to work through. They absolutely can right the ship. But as for right now, I'm not very high on the Lions at this point, obviously, with my take that they will be the last place team in the NFC North. But that might be the best division in the NFC. Actually, it is the best division in the NFC, I will say. Absolutely. I think the Bears are going to be a lot better. The Packers are obviously better and may actually be Super Bowl contenders. I didn't really believe in them until they got Micah Parsons, but now I do see where they could probably be a legit Super Bowl contender. You got the Vikings. We'll see how J.J. McCarthy pans out, but with the receivers they have in Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell running that offense, I think that J.J. McCarthy is going to be just fine. We saw what Sam Darnold did with that team last year, and then I know I'm forgetting a team. We got the Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. Okay, we mentioned them all. But the Bears are going to take a step forward, I do believe. We'll see tonight. I think it's going to be a good game tonight. I had the Bears money line going into it. That ticket is wrecked already off of the Falcons, as well as I feel like there was another one in there that I had wrong. But either way, I digress. Rams defense looked great again. I think the Rams are a pretty good team. I don't know if that offense will keep them afloat. Puka is Puka. And then Sunday Night Football. What a game. Josh Allen getting a lot of praise for this game. And he should. Let me not be a hater right now too much. But the Ravens did bail him out a lot. He threw at least 2 right in the hands of defenders. He wanted to turn the ball over so bad. Josh Allen lives to turn the football over. And the Ravens would not oblige. They would not let him turn the ball over. Although, we did see Derrick Henry fumble a big one, and it goes on the Ravens defense at the end of the day. I think the Ravens defense runs this game for the Ravens. I was watching Nightcap last night, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, and them talking about it of, Shannon Sharp saying, look, you fumbled the ball, but that don't mean you got to give up points. You could take the ball back. You could hold them to 3. It was the very next play. Josh Allen throws a rope to, I think it was Kincaid, over the middle. Easy touchdown. So the Ravens defense is going to have to be better. But like I said, talking from a Chiefs-centric podcast perspective, it made both of these teams not look great. I don't think either one of these teams look like world beaters or anything like that. I mean, it felt like they were both just trying to lose the game well, I would say the Bills took the game at the end, right? The Ravens lost it with a mix of the Bills kind of taking it. I mean, that was a great play by Josh Allen, great throw by Josh Allen to get that touchdown off of the Derrick Henry fumble. But, I mean, the Bills played pretty bad most of the game. It was the final, 5 minutes? I think they scored 16 points in the final 5 minutes of the game. I mean, it was 40-25. The winning probability was like 99.9% for the Ravens at one point in this game, and the Bills come back and win from a 15-point deficit. So hats off to the Bills, but I do think both of these teams look very beatable, and all of the teams in the AFC that are supposed to be, the juggernauts up there with the Chiefs, I don't think look great. And it's just week one. Let me go back to that because, this is not my hot take. This is not like the Lions take where I do think the Lions are not going to be great this year without Ben Johnson. The Ravens are going to get better. The Bills are going to get better. The Bengals might get better. I think the Chargers are going to be solid this year. But I think we saw the best Chargers week one, and we saw probably close to the worst we'll see the Chiefs play all season. I really do believe that. And if you're taking into account history, we have seen that, right? So I don't think that it's crazy to think, I don't think it's too much of a homer take to say that the Chiefs played some bad football on Friday night, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. With the landscape of the AFC, I mean, obviously right now the Bills are the best team. Like if I was going to give you a power rankings right now, Bills are number one. After that, maybe the Chargers. I mean, maybe the Chargers after what they did Friday night to the Chiefs. I think it's, going into week one is weird. Coming out of week one might be a little bit weirder of trying to stay away from, I'm not really much of a hot take guy. I have my hot takes here and there, obviously what I just said about the Lions, but, I'd like to try to keep it calm and cool and keep things in perspective. And the fact is, the Chiefs are the most consistent team in the AFC. Hard for me to rank them in a power ranking above, any of the winners from this weekend. I mean, maybe the Bengals. The Bengals didn't look good in their win, really at all. Although, shout out Chase Brown on my dynasty team. He looked good. But other than that, I don't think that the Bengals look particularly good. The Texans look terrible. You look at the other top teams, the Broncos. Are you willing to say the Broncos are better than the Chiefs right now after watching them play the Titans like that? I'm not. So, I don't know. It will be interesting. I'm excited to get EDJ's takes on it on Thursday. So you have to stay tuned for that. Like I said, I'm going to be live at Arrowhead on TikTok, so make sure the link is in the description below to follow me over there on TikTok. So you can catch that live. I'll be live tonight after the Monday Night Football game, unless I just get terribly worse throughout the day. Like I said, I'm sick, so unless I'm just feeling awful, I do plan on going live after the game. So for week one, let me know, what was your biggest surprise out of week one? What's your biggest takeaway? Do you have any hot takes like mine about the Detroit Lions after week one on the broad scale for the NFL? Let's round this out with a little bit of Kansas City Royals talk. Last but not least, we get into the Kansas City Royals. So we see the Royals lose on Sunday, but they do take the series from the Twins, 2 out of 3. The Angels series a little rough, also losing 2 out of 3 in that one. These were two series that you needed to see the Royals win. They are just one game out of the wild card as of right now. They go on the road to Cleveland for the next 4. At Philly, that's going to be a rough series next weekend. And then you get the Mariners. The Mariners are the team directly in front of the Royals. But I do think they kind of saved the homestand with the series against the Twins over the weekend. Obviously, you would have liked to see the Royals get a sweep after losing 2 out of 3 to the Angels. But that big series right here, September 16th through the 18th, that is really what we're looking at. I mean, that's going to be the telling series of the season, the most important one of the season. As long as they don't go out on the road this upcoming week and, lose a lot of games, I think you would like to see, I don't know, these next 7 at least go 4-3. If you can take one from the Phillies, win the Guardian series 3-1, and take one from the Phillies over the weekend, I think would be solid to keep yourself in line with where you're at. And we'll hop over to the standings real quick so you can see those as well. Here are the Royals. They sit one game back, half game behind the Rangers, and a full game behind the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners 3-7 in their last 10. The Royals 5-5. The Rangers have been hot. They are 7-3 in their last 10. So I think that coming up, the Royals do have a lot of. I mean, this is the stretch. This is the stretch. Are the Royals a playoff team? They are going to show that over the next, we'll say 10 games, because that Mariners series, they got 7 on the road and then 3 with the Mariners at home. The fact that that's a home series, I think, is huge. Like EDJ said a couple weeks ago now, I didn't have a podcast last week, but a couple weeks ago that the Royals have gotten a lot better at home. And, it's put up or shut up time for the Kansas City Royals. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the Royals here at the end. Obviously, big football episode being week 1. Border War happening as well. On Thursday, we will obviously preview the Eagles game. And I'll probably be out there. I'm going to be out at the game with E. So we'll be live on TikTok on Sunday. Make sure you tune into that. Like I said, link is in the description below. Follow me over there on TikTok. As well as I'll be live right here later on tonight after Monday Night Football. But Thursday, the podcast with DDJ, we are going to talk a lot more Royals baseball and get his take and perspective on it as the diehard Royals fan. And we'll see. These Royals, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Royals this year. Are they going to make the playoffs? 72-69 right now. They are now 3 games above 500. Very solid. I think they're better at this point than they were last year. I think they're kind of hovering right around 500 till the end of the season. 'Cause they were only a couple of games above 500, I believe, that made the playoffs. So either way, I think it's put up or shut up time for the Royals. Excited to see what the next week or so brings. I'm getting excited about the Royals, actually. My Cardinals are terrible. So I've got to get excited for the next best thing, and that is the Kansas City Royals. So let me know your Chiefs takes, your hot takes for the NFL, as well as right here as we get to the end of this baseball season. The fact that the Blue Jays are now the top team in the American League is kind of crazy. The Brewers still hanging on to that number 1 seed in the National League. Looks like they're going to run away with that. There's my Cardinals down there at 70-72. Sub 500 team. Negative 42 run differential. It's terrible. Either way. I will see you back here. I'm going to have film breakdowns coming out from the Brazil game, obviously. As we get into 2025 film, it is here. I'm excited. So I'm going to get through that. Deal with the sickness. I will be back on Thursday on the next podcast. If you tune in, I appreciate you. If you are still here, please hit that subscribe button for me. I do greatly appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. And let me know. I love to engage with everyone and hear your takes on whatever it may be. I'm also going to try to dive more into MMA over the next couple of weeks with everything going on. Hard to keep MMA in the forefront. UFC was in Paris over the weekend. I haven't got to watch much of it. I think I watched like 2 fights on Saturday while it was going on in the afternoon, but I was too busy doing a bunch of other stuff really Saturday afternoon and then getting ready for that Mizzou Kansas game. So I'm going to get back on the MMA train very soon. I know UFC 320, I think, is coming up next, if I'm correct on the numbers. I don't know. The numbers are a blur nowadays to me anyways. But I will see you back here on Thursday. Until then, your boy Papa Shrews out here.